as always, you can hear the Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
Wow, 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 wow.
With Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
The Celtics are two things. One, excellent front office. Secondly, the formula. And I'm watching Tatum, and he's such a nice guy, and he is such a collaborative guy that the beneficiary sometimes he just melts into the fabric.
Hey, it's Covino and Rich. And whether you're heading to the office, kicking back to watch the game, or enjoying a night on the town, Travis Matthew has you covered. They create versatile apparel designed to make you look and feel your best, wherever the day takes you.
From performance-driven styles to everyday essentials for both men and women, Travis Matthew bridges the gap between style and comfort. Ready to elevate your everyday? Visit TravisMatthew.com and get 20% off your first order when you sign up for email. That's TravisMatthew.com.
Can you help change a life by sponsoring Meals for the Hungry? Sponsor 10 meals for $27 a month. Join the Caring Places Meals and More Club. Go to caringplace.org/radio. That's caringplace.org/radio.
Limbs from Air are the AC pros, keeping you cool when it matters most. Quality service on your plumbing too. Let Limbs from take great care of you. Yeah, I love those guys.
Ozempic, but in a pill, is now available from Future Health.
Future Health weight loss.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. Here's what you need to know on Fox Sports 940 Miami. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed, who's flying solo back in Miami. We welcome you in to Wrigley Field, home of the Cubbies since 1914. It's a 63-degree Tuesday night. There was a ton of fog this morning, but that's cleared out. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. Fox Sports 940 Miami, game 41 of 162. And after dropping game 1 last night, 5-2 Miami, will look to avoid losing 3 in a row with Valente Belloso towing the rubber, first career start at Wrigley for Valente. We bring you game 2, middle game of this 3-game set between the 24-18 Chicago Cubs and your 15-25 Miami Marlins. The aforementioned Belloso, 25-year-old right-hander from Mexico, on Mexican Heritage Night at the ballpark. How cool is that for Belloso? He will make his 5th start of the season. He will go opposite Ben Brown, former 33rd round pick in 2017 with the Phillies. He starts for the Cubs tonight for the 8th time in 2025. First pitch slated for 7:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Tuesday night with Jack McMullen and Rod Allen. I'm Steven Strom. Got an awesome show for you ahead. We will first go down to listen to Jack McMullen and Matt Mervis during BP. Good video, good sound, good stuff. Ron Coomer, radio analyst since 2013 for the Chicago Cubs, will also join the program. And oh, by the way, former All-Star in 1999. Put some respect on his name. Ahead of the count, of course, with Belloso and Brown. Jack will jump in for segment 4. We'll get to our Expo question of today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. Let's head down to listen to what Jack McMullen and Matt Mervis had to say during BP ahead of game.
Thank you, Steven. Here with Matt Mervis at Wrigley Field. This was the first place you called the final destination, right? This was the goal for you when you were making your way through the minor leagues, to be back here, the place that you called home first. What does that feel like right now?
It's interesting for sure. I think every guy coming up through the minors thinks that they'll make it to the big leagues with the organization they started with and play 10, 12 years there and retire. I love it here. It's a great stadium, obviously. It's historic. It's very different on the other side. It's different. Just knowing how they operate over there, just how the clubhouse is, the locker room, all that stuff. It's very different, but it's cool seeing both sides of it. I'm glad to be back.
You're a professional. Obviously, you turned the page as soon as you were a member of the Miami Marlins. But did it almost feel like you were closing a chapter of your baseball career when you walked in here and you went to the visitors' clubhouse instead of the home clubhouse? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a closure feeling where, I get traded in the off season, so I didn't have to report anywhere. Just kind of had an extra couple of weeks to work out at home and then show up to Jupiter. So. Being back here probably is the closure to the career that started over there. Merv, a lot of guys in that other dugout that you know pretty well. Are you a little bit more vocal in these hitters' meetings, knowing that you came up and you saw a guy like Ben Brown a lot? Yeah, I've seen Ben pitch a lot. Yesterday I didn't have much to say about Ray. Just kind of went over the bullpen guys a little bit, and I'll get to Tyone tomorrow, but. Definitely, I've seen Ben pitch. I know what he's trying to do. I know his mentality up there, so try to relay that to some of the guys. Marv, appreciate it. Welcome back. Thank you.
All right, that was Matt Mervis and Jack McMullen. Interesting story with Matt Mervis, undrafted in 2020. Remember, it was that wacky year where there was only a couple of rounds in the draft. Played 36 total games with the Cubbies, 3 home runs. He hit 155 in his career with Chicago. Again, when we say career, 36 games. He was traded to the Marlins on December 29th for Vidal Brujan. And Matt Mervis has gone through peaks. He's gone through valleys. We've seen him have multiple home runs in a week. He's stuck on 7 right now, but he will bat 6 in DH tonight. Looking for Merv to come out of this funk and deliver here offensively for the Marlins. Let's break here. Still ahead, we've got Ron Coomer to get us ready for Game 2 and more of an in-depth analysis on Ben Brown, plus some stories when he covered Matt Mervis. That's all next on the Marlins Radio Network.
But every now and then, they slow down. That bat slows down.
A 1 pitch. Stowers hits that one deep, out to right, pretty deep. Palacios back, and it's gone. What were you saying?
That bat speeds up.
A solo shot for Kyle Stowers. It's his 7th on the year. 109 off the bat, and we're tied at 1 in the top of the 7th. 2-0 pitch. That one a line shot up the middle. That's plucked in the backhand by Sanoha. He slid there. He tosses to first on a hop, and Wagaman picked it to end of the inning.
My goodness, Sanoha, that cat can play.
Great play by Javier Sanoha. That was a ground ball, seemed destined for center field, and he slid to his backhand. He plucked it. He popped up from a slide, and he threw to first to get Elko by a step.
Famer. He says it only takes one swing.
Eric Wagaman lines one into left center field. That gets down. Past the dive of the center fielder Taylor. That rolls to the wall. It plates the go-ahead run from second and insurance from first. The throw going to third base. Wagaman gets in with a feet-first slide. He snuck the hand onto the third base bag, and it's a 2-run triple for Eric Wagaman here in the top of the 8th.
That's his first 2-out situations. 2-out RBI situations.
Xavier Edwards with a bouncing ball up the middle. That's past the dive of the second baseman Sosa into center field. Mervis will score from second. Fortes goes first to third. And yet another 2-out RBI. X, the leadoff man, ties it at 1 in the 4th. Somerset is a Yankee prospect. Ended the year with Jacksonville. The 0-2 pitch is a little tapper. Third base side, Rojas coming on. He can't glove it on the bare hand. X comes in to score, and the Marlins get one back. Wasn't a screamer like we've become accustomed to.
Welcome back here on Marlins on Deck as we get you ready for the middle game here at Wrigley Field. Steven Strom, Ron Coomer, kind enough to join us now on Marlins on Deck. First of all, thank you very much for joining me. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're at Wrigley Field. Beautiful day, right? How do we go wrong here in Chicago?
7th inning. Give me the key to the. Is it now the popcorn toss? It was Tootsie Rolls a couple of years ago. What's been the change?
Sponsor. Real simple, yeah. You know, Garrett's Popcorn, they came up. They wanted to do it. The Tootsie Roll thing was for me being a kid. There was a Tootsie Roll factory in the south side of Chicago that a guy would bring Tootsie Rolls to all the kids in our neighborhood. And it was literally right at the end of my block. And so as a little kid, you'd put in Tootsie Rolls. You'd go play wiffle ball and all that. So the Tootsie Roll thing started long ago. And now, you know, we're throwing out Garrett's Popcorn, which is great. It's a Chicago tradition, so it's all good.
That is amazing. All right, let's get to the matchup on the mound. Valente Belloso going opposite Ben Brown. Looking at the splits, a 7 ERA here at Wrigley, a 1 on the road. What can you tell us about Ben Brown?
Brownie is one of those guys. He had one outing that really ballooned his ERA here at home. But he's a young guy, big power arm, 2-pitch pitcher, which is kind of unique in our game right now. Good fastball, very good fastball, mid-90s, and knuckle curveball. That's what you're going to see. If he has command of the fastball in the zone and attacks, good things are going to happen. If he's around the zone and not in the zone a lot, that's when, you know, for every pitcher they get in trouble. But for him in particular, he's got to be on the attack with the heater.
He's going to see a familiar face in Matt Mervis. Yeah. I know you got a chance to cover him the last couple of years, traded in the offseason for Vidal Brujan, but Jack and I have gotten a chance to chat with Merv, get to know him. Just what were some of your stories and experiences with him?
Well, I just, you know, he was one of those guys that came to the big leagues, and I was such a big fan because he was a big, strong guy that could hit the ball out of the park, but he used the whole field. And he hit for an extremely high average in AAA that year. And I just thought, stay where you're at. Don't try to do something different. Use the whole field. And he's you know, as you've seen, he's a big kid that can hit the ball a long way. Stay there. And I think our game has evolved to the point where, and maybe not in a good way, that, you know, they want these young guys to all hook the ball. And I think, you know, that pull mentality, you know, gets tough for some guys. So I'm pulling for us to win, obviously, you know. But there's some guys you look at and you go, God, I really hope he does well. He's one of them. I'm really pulling for Matty to get his career going. He deserves to have a really good, long, big league career.
Last one for you, Craig Counsell. What's the biggest difference with him in year 2?
Probably the understanding of the organization and what you have. You know, I always think when a guy comes over to a group, the first year, if you haven't been in that organization, first of all, it takes 2 months to know everybody's name. You know, so through spring training, he's just learning his own staff.
Out of a fire hose.
Yeah, right. So you're dealing with that. Then you're dealing with exactly what you have on your 26-man. Then you're dealing with, okay, who are my prospects and who am I going to call up? What do I do there? So I think now he has a much better grasp of what you have and what you need. So going in, I think we signed a lot more veteran players this year. Going into this season. It's showing with our record that you sign guys that are big league players. Yep. They know what they're doing. So I really believe that's been, you know, understanding what you have and then what you need has really helped count.
Ron, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it as always.
Yep.
All right, coming up next, we'll get you out of the count with Valente Belloso and Ben Brown. Ronnie just mentioned a little bit about him. We're back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
Masterminds behind it? Nope. We got him.
Yeah, we do.
1-1 pitch. That one hit high in the air, out to left and deep. Conforto is back, and that's a get-right swing for Agustin Ramirez. He was a little cold, but a big swing from the rookie catcher is a 3-run shot. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-run game.
Can I cut you off real quick? This is where the podcast actually starts. Take a look at Steven's T-shirt.
No way.
Are you guys rolling?
We're rolling. We're rolling.
Oh, cool. What's up, guys?
Those were 2 time-buying questions.
Thanks for joining us. Don't leave me hanging, though.
Oh, man.
This is so good. So for our Spotify and Apple Podcast crowd, Steven found a shirt on Amazon that says, "I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagman."
Oh, I remember.
This shirt's on Amazon. What's the deal with this shirt? Again, I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagman. What's going
on? So we had an interview with Eric in the offseason, and it was actually credit to Kyle Seeloff. He was like, I think there's a T-shirt of my wife loves it when I watch Eric Wagman. I love it when I love
the inning with a single. It's 3 straight innings with a leadoff knock. The pitch to Liam Hicks. That one drilled out to right. He got that one. Liam Hicks sends it into the Dodger bullpen. His second big league homer, and it's 2-1 Fish in the fifth.
Paez couldn't catch that one, Jack.
From Luis Garcia. 1-2. Another sweeper, and Norby drills it. Out to left. Conforto back. Conforto leaps up, and it's over his head and off the wall. Augustine will score from third base, and Connor Norby with an RBI double. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th.
Looks like he got a little Kenley Jansen in his setup.
Dane Myers lines one up the middle. That's in for a base hit. Norby zooming around third. Altman's throw coming home is.
You're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, thank you very much, Xavier Edwards. He extended his hit streak to 6 games last night. He, of course, will lead off where he has hit in every single game this season. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Rod Allen, thank you so much for making us a part of your Tuesday night. We're live from beautiful Wrigley Field, about 60 degrees. The fog was overwhelming this morning in the hotel room. You looked outside, you opened up your curtains after having a good 8.5 hours, and you said, whoa. The fog went away. Now, about 6:14 local time, I'm looking out to right field. This is a good weather report by me, Jack McMullen. It looks like the fog is pretty heavy out there in right field, but conditions, of course, are perfect for baseball. Valente Belloso will go opposite Ben Brown. Let's get you ahead of the count. We will start with Belloso, 25-year-old right-hander who's making his 5th start of 2025. I will mention this about Belloso. Ryan Weathers is going to start tomorrow night, which means the Marlins are going to have to make a decision on if they're going to go with a 6-man rotation or if one of the 5 individuals, Sandy, Cal, Edward Cabrera, and Max Meyer, one of them, of course, has to be optioned, has to make a move. Valente Belloso does have options. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Marlins do with the Weathers start tomorrow night against the Cubbies. Back to Belloso, 0-2, 3.50 ERA over 18 innings pitched, 14 Ks, 10 walks. He did not factor on Wednesday against the Dodgers. It was the best start. Probably, I don't want to say career because he had an awesome start in Philadelphia last year. But this one in particular on Wednesday, 5 1/3 shutout, 7 punch-outs. He generated 10 whiffs on 76 pitches, 44 for strikes. Belloso's 3 of his 4 starts, he's given up 1 run or less. This will be his first career start at Wrigley Field. And the big thing with Belloso, he's a fly ball pitcher, 31.4% fly ball rate. That will play here at Wrigley Field. And the hard hit rate is at 28%. The league average is at 38%. We've said it once. We've said it twice. Valente Belloso misses barrels. He will go opposite Ben Brown, 25-year-old right-hander, 6'6", 210. This is an interesting story. Interesting cat here. Former 33rd round pick in 2017 by the Phillies. Traded to Chicago in 2022 for once Marlin, David Robertson. Brown was added to the 40-man in November of 2022. He debuted on March 30th of 2024 and now has found a role in this rotation. 3 3 7 starts, 1 appearance from the bullpen, 36 1/3 innings pitched. How about 44 total punch-outs? 44 punchies in 36 1/3. That's pretty nasty. Brown took the loss on Wednesday against San Francisco in his last start, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks over 5 frames, a season-high 9 punch-outs. He has faced the Marlins before. It was last year when the Marlins played a doubleheader on April 20th, game 2 of that doubleheader. He threw 2 scoreless with 3 Ks. This is an old-school guy. Ron Coomer mentioned it. He's really a 2-pitch pitcher. 4-seamer, knuckle curve, and he will throw in that changeup. So it'll be interesting. I will ask Mr. Jack McMullen what pitch the Marlins are going to have to eliminate here tonight to have some success. We shall see. And that is on deck here. Jack McMullen, he joins me next as we get you ready for Game 2, the middle game. Marlins looking to avoid losing 3 in a row right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
But every now and then they slow down. That bat slows down.
A 1 pitch. Stowers hits that one deep, out to right, pretty deep. Palacios back, and it's gone. What were you saying?
That bat speeds up.
A solo shot for Kyle Stowers. It's his 7th on the year. 109 off the bat, and we're tied at 1 in the top of the 7th. 2-0 pitch. That one a line shot up the middle. That's plucked in the backhand by Sanoha. He slid there. He tosses to first on a hop, and Wagaman picked it to end the inning.
My goodness, Sanoha, that cat can play.
Great play by Javier Sanoja. That was a ground ball, seemed destined for center field, and he slid to his backhand. He plucked it. He popped up from a slide, and he threw to first to get Elko by a step.
Famer. He says it only takes one swing.
Eric Wagaman lines one into left center field. That gets down. Past the dive of the center fielder Taylor. That rolls to the wall. It plates the go-ahead run from second and insurance from first. The throw going to third base. Wagaman gets in with a feet first slide. He snuck the hand onto the third base bag, and it's a 2-run triple for Eric Wagaman here in the top of the 8th.
That's his first 2-out situations. 2-out RBI situations.
Xavier Edwards with a bouncing ball up the middle. That's past the dive of the second baseman Sosa into center field. Mervis will score from second. Fortes goes first to third. And yet another 2-out RBI. X, the leadoff man, ties it at 1 in the 4th. Somerset is a Yankee prospect. Ended the year with Jacksonville. The 0-2 pitch is a little tapper. Third base side, Rojas coming on. He can't glove it on the bare hand. X comes in to score, and the Marlins get one back. Wasn't a screamer like we've become accustomed to with Agustin Ramirez.
Back here at Wrigley Field on a Tuesday night. One game here tonight, another tomorrow. We will be back in Miami early Thursday morning, enjoy an off day, and then right back at it. Rivalry Week, the first ever of its kind for Major League Baseball. The Marlins will take on the Rays in the Citrus Series. But all focus is on tonight, Jack, game 41. Can you believe it, dude? We're not going to do this every single time. But 41, this is game 41 of 162, man. It goes quick.
I can't wait to do it again at game number 59. Can't believe we're already at game number 59. And just wait till we get to 112, man. That's going to be awesome.
All right. Valente Belloso will toss for the Marlins. He's been so awesome to watch this year, Jack, and arguably coming off his best start last week against the Dodgers.
Yeah, Valente, I thought mixed and matched. And just one last time, and I'll put it to bed. My Jax McMullen's man of the hour was Valente Belloso. I thought
you nailed it. Yep.
I thought he was going to get through 2 turns of the rotation, 1 or fewer runs, and it was 1 or fewer hits for Valente. He got through 18 hitters. He got through the Dodger lineup twice, and it was 1 hit shutout ball. Valente did it because he had those Dodger bats on their heels. And frankly, like, he did not let Shohei Ohtani beat him. And that's okay. If he IDs one guy in this lineup, if he says, you know what, Kyle Tucker, I'm not letting you beat me tonight. I'll walk you twice. That's okay. He walked Ohtani twice, and guess what? He held the Dodgers off the board for 5 innings. That's exactly what the Marlins needed. I hope he does that same thing again. This guy pitches like the smartest man on the field.
He's exceptionally well with traffic too, Jack. I think that's one of the strengths of Valente Belloso is when he does walk guys, it's almost like he hunkers down and gets to another level. It's been awesome to watch him, man. What's the path to victory here? I want to get into Ben Brown after, but I think just as a whole for the Marlins to avoid losing 3 in a row, what's the path look like?
Yeah, I think strike early against Ben Brown, and that kind of bridges us to the Ben Brown conversation. Strike early. This guy tries to shake off some nerves, I think, especially when he throws at Wrigley. The ERA is not good at Wrigley Field. I mean, and it's at, 1 on the road right now in a handful of starts. So you get to Ben Brown, who struggles here early. It's a 25-year-old right-hander that might just be a little too fired up, and that's not a recipe for success when it comes to, pitchers in particular throwing at their home ballpark. For Valente, I think it is IDing 1 or 2 guys that you're not going to let beat you. And I think he's going to be really careful with Pete Crow Armstrong, but not careful to the point where you walk him, because if he's standing at first base, chances are he'll be at second base a few pitches later. We didn't see that last night.
Yep.
But I thought Cal Quantrill did a really good job with PCA. And then Kyle Tucker. I think if he identifies Kyle Tucker and says, you're not going to beat me, that puts the Marlins in a good opportunity to capitalize on what could be, Cub lineup shortcomings. Now, I will say Seiya Suzuki and Dansby Swanson were the ones that, tacked on all the runs they needed with those 2 2-run homers. But I think IDing a couple of guys and getting to Ben Brown earlier, the 2 recipes for success.
And with Valente Belloso, Jack, it's going to be interesting. I mentioned this in the last segment. The Marlins are going to have a decision to make after this game on what they want to do with Belloso, whether they want to move him to the bullpen. Someone has to be optioned. I think that he's done enough to stay up here in some sort of a role, but with Ryan Weathers coming back, the Marlins are going to have to make a move as far as their arms are go.
Yeah, I don't know what the right move is. I don't know what the move is going to be, but I hope Valente is still in a Marlins uniform. And this guy, I think, deserves the opportunity to throw in a Marlins uniform. But you know what? This guy is so mentally strong, and he understands why. He understands the why to everything that happens in his baseball career. I mean, we talked about it with him. He was chatting with his mental coach, Freddie Sandoval, who's from Tijuana, Mexico, another Mexican-born pitcher that threw in the big leagues. This guy has the mental fortitude to get through anything. And if it is a couple of starts in Jacksonville until it's next man up and Valente's back, this guy is going to take it in stride. But, hoping that Valente can be throwing in a Marlins uniform for quite a while.
Jack McMullen with me now on Marlins on Deck as we get you ready for the middle game. You had a lovely conversation with Matt Mervis down on the field earlier today. We know that Matty ticks a little different. We know he's amped up for this series, but what were some of the takeaways that you took away coming up here to the booth with your conversation with Mervis?
Yeah, I think coming back to this ballpark's a little heavy for him, and I think that it's a little heavy for a lot of guys. Like, I think when we go to Baltimore right around the All-Star break, that's going to be a little heavy for Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers, because that was the organization that gave them their first shot, the organization that they debuted with, that drafted him, and that put all their eggs in their basket until they did it.
And in these guys' mind, that's a team that gave up on them. Let's not beat around a bush.
No,
that's how they look at it.
Exactly. And that's someone where they said, you know what, someone externally you thought was better than me, the internal option. So, there's a little chip each time you go to that kind of ballpark, and I look forward to seeing Stowers and Norby play at Camden Yards. I look forward to watching Mervis hit today, and I feel like Mervis has a really solid plan of attack against Ben Brown, and we'll see if he executes that.
Can you give me a McMullen's Man of the Hour in the next segment? Can you give me that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you come back on?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, still to come. McMullen's Man of the Hour, Steve's Guarantee, our X-Poll question. Tough. When I say a tough X-Poll question, very tough.
Whoa.
Stick with us. We got a 7:40 first pitch. We're about 15 minutes away from it. Valente Belloso will go opposite Ben Brown on this Tuesday night. Don't move a muscle right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Masterminds behind it? Nope. We got him.
Yeah, we do.
1-1 pitch. That one hit high in the air, out to left and deep. Conforto is back, and that's a get-right swing for Agustin Ramirez. He was a little cold, but a big swing from the rookie catcher is a 3-run shot. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-run game.
Can I cut you off real quick? This is where the podcast actually starts. Take a look at Steven's T-shirt.
No way.
Are you guys rolling?
We're rolling. We're rolling.
Oh, cool. What's up, guys?
Those were two time-buying questions.
Thanks for joining us. Don't leave me hanging, though.
Oh, man. This is so good. So for our Spotify and Apple Podcast crowd, Steven found a shirt on Amazon that says, "I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagner."
Oh, I remember.
This shirt's on Amazon. What's the deal with this shirt? Again, I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagner. What's going
on? So we had an interview with Eric in the offseason, and it was actually credit to Kyle Seeloff. He was like, I think there's a T-shirt of my wife loves it when I watch Eric Wagner. I love it when I love
the inning with a single. It's 3 straight innings with a leadoff knock. The pitch to Liam Hicks. That one drilled out to right. He got that one. Liam Hicks sends it into the Dodger bullpen. His second big league homer, and it's 2-1 Fish in the 5th.
Paez couldn't catch that one, Jack.
From Luis Garcia. 1-2. Another sweeper, and Norby drills it. Out to left. Conforto back. Conforto leaps up, and it's over his head and off the wall. Augustine will score from third base, and Connor Norby with an RBI double. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th.
Looks like he got a little Kenley Jansen in his setup.
Dane Myers lines one up the middle. That's in for a base hit. Norby zoom.
Well, we're off and running on the Marlins Radio Network, about 13 minutes away from first pitch, middle game, game 2 of this 3-game set. We've been in Chicago what feels like a year, but if there's one place to get stuck here for a week, it is the Shy, Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and Rod Allen. Those two have your call. It has been a fun week in Chicago. Valente Belloso looking to entertain us tonight in front of what will be a very big crowd. It is Mexican Heritage Day. Of course, Belloso is from Mexicali, Mexico. probably a little special, a little extra special. You combine that with just pitching at Wrigley Field for the first time. Maybe some emotion, some butterflies for Valente Belloso, who will go opposite Ben Brown. Let's get to our X-Bowl question of today, and this one's a tough one. If you don't get it right, I'm not going to, shun you for it. In 1958, who recorded their 3,000th career hit right here at Wrigley Field? It was a pinch hit double. Now, you can go in the history books and look at the guys that have hit 3,000 hits, and you can particularly go back to the 50s, the 60s. Who was it? Jack, do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Okay. Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It's time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up.
Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
It was Stan the Man, by the way. Tough.
Gotcha.
It was a tough X-Bowl question, but you know
Gotcha.
what? We proceed. Okay, Steve's Guarantee tonight, Augustin Ramirez. He's due. He is due. He hasn't hit a home run since May 5th, which feels like a while ago. Yeah, it was only like a week ago. 2 of his 4 home runs against that fastball. We know Ben Brown likes to throw that high heat. I like Augustin Ramirez to hit a home run here tonight. He will bat 4th and catch. McMullen's Man of the Hour. The floor is yours.
Norby. Give me Norby putting a ball in the left center field bleachers.
We're going yard cards.
Yeah, sure. I'll go a yard card. Give me Norby to put a ball in the left center field bleachers. Maybe onto, is that Sheffield or Waveland out there? Sheffield is left, Waveland is right?
I think so.
Is that how that works? I'm pulling up maps right now. I'm pulling up the app, and we'll see where you have it right, where you have it wrong. Sheffield is right field. Put it onto Waveland in left field.
Okay.
Give me Connor Norby to put a ball onto Waveland Avenue out to left field.
If this does happen, let me see the record when the Marlins hit 2 home runs. Oh, we're only 3 and 4. Should we do another one? Because maybe 3 home runs in a game, they're better. No, we're not going to do that because the Marlins will be 4 and 4 when Connor Norby and Augustin Ramirez hit bombs today.
Yep.
Hopefully that is the case. Jack, thank you very much. And big thanks to Ahmed back in studio. Good start by Ahmed, flying solo tonight back in the Fox Sports 940 Miami Marlins Radio Network studios. Well, folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Rod Allen, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball is next. This is the Marlins Radio Network.